What is going on, guys? This video is set to be posted in late 2016 and it is going to be about 2016 football as a whole, kind of. So this year has been one of the most incredible, unprecedented years in footballing history. A year unlikely to be repeated ever again in your lifetime. So that breeds today's video, which is going to be the surprise stars of the year. I tried to make it not less an RB Leipzig orientated, but the starting lineup is going to be kind of like the main players, and the bench is going to be like the honourable mentions. I'll just get into those. Starting off, we have Mahmoud Dahoud, who has become a very essential cog in a pretty good Mönchengladbach team, and he's got a host of big clubs looking after him. So his future looks to be in very good hands. Brilliant potential, good season for him. Next, we have Gylfi Sigurdsson, who is used to represent a country rather than himself. He's Icelandic. We all know what they did, and I'm in England. I'm English, so I don't necessarily want to talk about it. Next, we have Insigne, who last year was the first player to reach double figures in goals and assists in Europe's top 5 leagues last year. So that is a very big change from sitting on the bench for Napoli. He has become a very, very good part of their team, and yeah, last year was definitely a brilliant breakout year for him. Next, we have Chicharito, Man United reject, Real Madrid reject, really coming to his own at Leverkusen, one of the world's best poachers, and yeah, he has done very, very well this year. Keylor Navas was expected to be a sub keeper for Real Madrid when Kiko Casilla came in, but in turn, he's gone and become one of the best keepers in the world, so he's done very well this year. Next, we have Hatem Ben Arfa, a fail at Newcastle. Someone that couldn't even get a whole City starting lineup has just gone on a new one this year. Well, last year with Nice. Did so well that he earned himself a massive move to PSG in the summer. It hasn't gone well. I mean, he's doing awfully at the moment. It's probably going to go Fenerbahce soon or someone like that. But anyway, this year he has really shown what his potential is all about, and what the real Ben Arfa is like, as opposed to the one we saw in England. Finally, in the honourable mentions, we have Marcus Rashford. No one had heard of this guy before March, and he's just come into his own completely out of nowhere and sparked light into Man United's very, 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 very dim season, as well as England's Euro campaign. He's even had a FIFA 17 game mode revolving completely around, revolving more or less around him. So yeah, those are the honourable mentions. So starting in the lineup, we have Gigi Donnarumma, who is starting for AC Milan and being called up to the Italy squad at 17, which is utterly ridiculous. Not only has he become the best keeper at AC Milan, but he's one of the best keepers in his league. And he's not even an adult yet. He's still classified as a kid. This is just ridiculous. So all I can say about this guy is this: we have a very solid future. Next, we have Sergio Roberto right back. This might be a bit of a surprise to you guys, but he has made the right back slot his own at Barcelona after Dani Alves left. He was born and bred a centre mid in La Masia, and he is really stepped to the next level this season, showing how incredibly versatile he is to be able to switch positions so well. And he's had a very, very good breakout year. Very good future for Sergio Roberto, in my opinion. Next, we have Andreas Christensen, one of the million Chelsea loanees, and this one actually did very well for Mönchengladbach. He's still doing well in the starting lineup. I mean, he's not that physically developed yet, but as a young player, I guess you'd expect that. He has done very, very well for them. Solid at the back. And yeah, he has definitely earned his spot in this team. Rumour has it that he wants to stay at Mönchengladbach. If he does that, that would be brilliant. He has got a brilliant potential. Look out for this guy in the future. Next to him, we have got Leo Bonucci, who has made a step up this year from being a very good defender to top 3, in my opinion. This guy is a very likely candidate for the team of the year. Best defender of the Euros for me. He has got such a wide range of skills. He is, in my opinion, probably the perfect example of a modern centre-back. a brute, brilliant on the ball, pretty quick. I mean, not only that, he is probably the best out of the Barzagli, Bonucci, Chiellini trio at Juventus. That says it all for how incredibly talented this guy is. Our left back is probably going to be the only player in this team that is at a position where he can't play at all. Obviously, Payet doesn't play left back, but I didn't know who to use there, so I put Payet there. But yeah, after an incredible season with Marseille a couple years back, he moved to West Ham, who were a lot proportionately worse in their league than Marseille are in theirs. But either way, he got into the Premier League Team of the Year, practically carried a relatively average West Ham team, and they still carry him to this season. They're doing awfully this season. Payet, Antonio, only bright spots of the season. But anyway, last season, we all know about him. One of the most technically gifted players in the Premier League. Probably in the top, probably one of the top players in Europe at the moment. And he's still playing for West Ham. Incredible season for this guy. Not to mention the ridiculous Euros he had. That, I think, definitely makes Payet worthy of being in this team. So the next player we have is going to be the main reason I decided to make this video, Jamie Vardy. What can I say about him that you don't already know? 9th tier of English football, rose his way up through the ranks to become a Premier League champion, headlining the Euros with England, a Premier League player of the season, and he released an autobiography. On top of it, a load of other things as well, probably. The record breaking, and everything else. I mean, yeah, he's playing awfully at the moment. But this video cannot be complete without this man. I mean, he is a real-life example of what can do when you work hard. And the world applauds you, Jamie Vardy. Next player is Renato Sanchez, who is just a teenager that has had a huge move to Bayern Munich and has won the Euros and was named Young Player of the Tournament in the Euros. A brilliant season with Benfica led to Bayern paying something like 38 million for him, and he looks set to become one of the world's best very, very soon. Brilliant breakout year for Sanchez. Look out for him. Next player is N'Golo Kante, the man with the best engine in world football, in my opinion. I mean, this guy epitomised Leicester's season, really. He had come from nowhere to become one of the best players in the Premier League. In my opinion, he is the main reason Leicester won the league last year, and he's proven that he can do it again for Chelsea, unlike Riyad and Jamie Vardy. I mean, Kante, his ridiculous work rate, his uncanny aggression, where he will tackle someone even if there is really no chance of it happening. He will still go and do it, and that is exactly the kind of physicality that makes the Premier League so suited to this guy. But seriously, what an incredible player, and someone, not only that is likely to make the team of the year as well. I mean, N'Golo Kante, what a season, what a year, and what a player. Next, we have another hero for Leicester, Riyad Mahrez. I mean, yeah, he's playing like utter crap at the moment, but irrelevant of that. Last year is always going to be his year. PFA Player of the Year. If I'm aware, I think he was the only player in the Premier League to get double figures in goals and assists. And, I mean, we all know what this guy did last year. The trickery that this guy is capable of is just next level. And really, Riyad Mahrez has definitely had an incredible year. He was, I believe, 7th in the Ballon d'Or race. So that just proves it. What this guy has done is insane. And that is why he's made this team. So, finally, the strikers. And we have the first player and only player of Leipzig, and the only player on this list that I've picked based on this season is going to be Timo Werner, who already in the Bundesliga has had his goals and his electrifying pace light up Leipzig's ridiculous season and highlight their ridiculous rise from being formed 7 years ago to challenging for a Bundesliga title in their first season after being promoted. I mean, you can say what you want about Leipzig, okay? But they only sign players that are 23 or under, and that breeds talent like this guy. An incredible future prospect. German striker that Germany have really needed. And I would say they've got it with this guy. He has been on fire this year so far. And I think that definitely earns his spot in this team. So, finally, we have Aritz Adjuriz. And you hear about players like Ibrahimovic that reach their peak and just never drop. Or you hear about players that peak too soon. But what you don't hear is players like Aritz Adjuriz who reach their peak at 34. This guy has been pretty much someone that was relatively unknown about until a couple of years back, where he played a pretty decent season. But then last year, he went absolutely top gear. He scored 20 goals in the league, which is more than Gareth Bale. Helped Bilbao to a pretty impressive campaign in Europe. And seriously, has just defied any expectations of an old person, of an elderly footballer. I mean, he's at the age where most players would be considering retirement, but not him. He is in the best form of his life. I mean, this guy is unlike anyone else on this list. Most of them are relatively young, or most of them are where players would normally reach their peak. But Adjuriz, I think, is undoubtedly a massive shock, and that, I think, definitely earns him this place in the team. So, that is the end of the video. I hope you guys have a brilliant 2017, and I will see you guys next year.